What if I told you the most magical creature in history, the unicorn, might not be just a myth? Sounds insane, right? But stay with me, because what you're about to hear might completely change everything you thought you knew. For centuries, humans all over the world, people from different continents, cultures, and religions, have described the same exact creature, a beautiful, majestic animal, shaped like a horse, pure white, with a single, long, spiraled horn right in the middle of its forehead. But here's the question no one can answer. How is it possible that cultures who never met each other, from ancient China to Greece, from India to Europe, all describe the exact same creature? This isn't just some fairy tale for kids. Some of the most respected minds in history wrote about it as if it were a real animal. Aristotle, Pliny the Elder, even Hippocrates, the father of medicine, described horned creatures in their works. And believe it or not, early translations of the Bible mention an animal called Riem, which for centuries was translated into one word, unicorn. But it gets crazier. During the Middle Ages, something truly strange happened. Merchants from the Arctic began selling an object that blew everyone's minds. A horn. Not just any horn. A long, twisted, spiraled, bone-white horn, unlike anything people had ever seen, and they swore it was the horn of a unicorn. Kings, queens, popes, and the richest families paid fortunes for it. Why? Because this horn was believed to have magical powers. It could cure diseases, detect poison, protect against death itself. It was worth more than gold, sometimes even more than entire kingdoms. But here's the twist that no one expected. That horn didn't come from any horse-like magical creature. It came from a real animal, a creature that still exists today. It's called the narwhal, a marine mammal that lives in the freezing waters of the Arctic. And the most unbelievable part? The narwhal has a massive spiraled tusk growing straight out of its head that can reach up to 10 feet long. It looks exactly like the horn of a unicorn. Back in medieval Europe, nobody had ever seen a narwhal. They had no idea what it was. So when Viking traders started selling narwhal tusks, claiming they were from unicorns, everybody believed it. And for hundreds of years, the world was convinced unicorns were absolutely real. But the story doesn't end there. Because what if I told you unicorns might have actually walked the earth? No joke. Scientists have found fossils of a massive animal called the Elasmotherium. Picture this, a creature the size of an elephant, standing over 6 feet tall, weighing nearly 5 tons, with a gigantic spiraled horn right in the middle of its forehead. This wasn't some mythical beast. This was a real animal, a prehistoric giant that roamed the plains of Siberia and Central Asia. For a long time, experts believed it went extinct hundreds of thousands of years ago. But recent discoveries tell a different story. New fossils prove that this creature was still alive just 39,000 years ago. That's the same time humans, modern humans, were already living on Earth, which means there were people, just like you and me, who might have seen this massive, hairy, horned giant with their own eyes. Imagine walking across a frozen plain, and suddenly, standing right in front of you, is a towering beast with a huge horn shining in the sunlight. If you saw that, what else would you call it, other than a unicorn? But here's the real reason the unicorn legend never died. It's not just about the horn, or the horse, or the magic. It's what the unicorn represents. The unicorn is a symbol of the impossible, the untouchable, the pure, the perfect. In medieval times, they believed a unicorn could only be captured by a virgin. No force, no weapon, no trap could hold it. Only innocence could tame the impossible. And if you really think about it, that's not just some ancient story. It's a reflection of human nature, because even today, we still chase unicorns, not just in fairy tales, but in real life. That's why we call billion-dollar startups Unicorns. Rare, unique, almost impossible to find. Exactly like the creature they're named after. But there's one last thing most people don't know. Throughout history, there have been explorers, travelers, and even scientists who claim to have seen strange one-horned animals. Was it a mistake, a genetic mutation, or something else? Because if there's one thing nature keeps teaching us, it's that the world is full of mysteries we still don't understand. So let me ask you this. Are you sure the unicorn never existed? Or maybe, just maybe, it was real all along, and we just never knew where to look?